Reading up on the life of Virginia Woolf is a bit like putting your hand in the water at the beach and hoping you have touched all of the sea. She is considered one of the foremost novelists of the 20th century, and her work is said to have pioneered conscious narration as a literary device. Writing from the age of 5, growing up as a child among 8, her early years must have most definitely been adventurous. Her father was a writer, and her mother's side included Julia Margaret Cameron, a photographer, and Lady Henry Somerset, a campaigner for women's rights. Her mother was a pre-Raphaelite model and philanthropist. Virginia Woolf experienced sexual abuse at the hands of her half-brother, Gerald Duckworth, which she first revealed in her 1939 essay, A Sketch of the Past. It is speculated this may have contributed to her mental health issues as she grew older. She experienced what she called her first breakdown with the death of her mother in 1895. Her education was piecemeal and informal. She was lucky that she had access to a family library, and her father allowed her free and unlimited access to it. Her private tutors became friends, and they influenced her politically, Janet Case introducing her to the suffrage movement. When she moved to Gordon Square in 1904, intellectual social gatherings ensued, attempting to recreate the atmosphere of Trinity College. They formed the core of the Bloomsbury Group and included John Maynard Keynes, E.M. Forster, and Roger Fry. Moving to Asham House in 1911, in some ways in need of an escape from London, and also to address her mental health issues, she was also creative there, penning a writer's diary published in 1953. The Voyage Out was also completed there, and the house inspired the short story narrated for you here, A Haunted House. Virginia married Leonard Woolf in 1912, and despite her love for him, Virginia had sexual passions that went beyond her marriage. She had many intimate relationships with other women, and one such, Vita Sackville West, had this to say of Virginia Woolf. Virginia Woolf dislikes the possessiveness and the love of domination in men. In fact, she dislikes the quality of masculinity, says that women stimulate her imagination by their grace and their art of life. Vita Sackville West's diary, dated 26 September 1928. Virginia Woolf must have been one of the most interesting people to have lived in a crazily interesting century. Creative, intelligent, social, passionate, and ferociously independent, she possessed the flame of life that only she herself could put out. Her life was cut short by her own hand at the age of 59 in 1941. She left a note for her husband, who she loved dearly until the very end. Through the work of such greats as Virginia Woolf, we remember their lives and their struggles, and their art and their beauty, and bringing these all together, we try to make sense of what may or may not have been, and we will only ever scratch the surface of knowing what crossed their minds 100 or so years ago. This is Two and a Mic. Rise up and be curious.
Dong weche pek kod welo mabiro e Two and a Mic. Dong parodit kod jok mawuoye Two and a Mic. Seche tin sud buta wawinji e Two and a Mic. Wala wachokre wabed piny bi wawinje ero chako dong omit ndi Two and a Mic podcast makende.
A Haunted House by Virginia Woolf. Whatever hour you woke up, there was a door shutting. From room to room they went, hand in hand, lifting here, opening there, making sure. A ghostly couple. "Here we left it," she said. And he added, "Oh, but here too." "It's upstairs," she murmured. "And in the garden," he whispered. Quietly, they said, or we shall wake them. But it wasn't that you woke us. Oh no. They're looking for it. They're drawing the curtain, one might say, and so read on a page or two. Now they've found it, one would be certain, stopping the pencil on the margin. And then, tired of reading, one might rise and see for oneself the house all empty, the doors standing open, only the wood pigeons bubbling with content, and the hum of the threshing machine sounding from the farm. What did I come here for? What did I want to find? My hands were empty. Perhaps it's upstairs then? The apples were in the loft, and so down again, the garden still as ever. Only the book had slipped into the grass. But they had found it in the drawing-room. Not that one could ever see them. The window panes reflected apples, reflected roses. All the leaves were green in the glass. If they moved in the drawing-room, the apple only turned its yellow side. Yet the moment after, if the door was opened, spread about the floor, hung upon the walls, pendant from the ceiling, what? My hands were empty. The shadow of a thrush crossed the carpet. From the deepest wells of silence the wood pigeon drew its bubble of sound. Safe, safe, safe. The pulse of the house beat softly. The treasure buried, the room. The pulse stopped short. Oh, was that the buried treasure? A moment later the light had faded. Out in the garden, then? But the trees spun darkness for a wandering beam of sun. So fine, so rare, coolly sunk beneath the surface, the beam I sought always burned behind the glass. Death was the glass. Death was between us, coming to the woman first, hundreds of years ago, leaving the house, sealing all the windows. The rooms were darkened. He left it, left her, went north, went east, saw the stars turned in the southern sky, sought the house, found it dropped beneath the downs. Safe, safe, safe. The pulse of the house beat gladly, the treasure yours. The wind roars up the avenue. Trees stoop and bend this way and that. Moonbeams splash and spill wildly in the rain. But the beam of the lamp falls straight from the window. The candle burns stiff and still. Wandering through the house, opening the windows, whispering not to wake us, the ghostly couple seek their joy. Here we slept, she says. And he adds, kisses without number. Waking in the morning, silver between the trees, upstairs, in the garden, when summer came, in winter snow time. The doors go shutting far in the distance, gently knocking like the pulse of a heart. Nearer they come, cease at the doorway. The wind falls, the rain slides silver down the glass. Our eyes darken, we hear no steps beside us. We see no lady spread her ghostly cloak. His hands shield the lantern. Look, he breathes. Sound asleep, love upon their lips. Stooping, holding their silver lamp above us, long they look, and deeply. Long they pause. The wind drives straightly. The flame stoops slightly. Wild beams of moonlight cross both floor and wall, and, meeting, stain the faces bent. The faces pondering. The faces that search the sleepers and seek their hidden joy. Safe, safe, safe. The heart of the house beats proudly. Long years, he sighs. Again you found me. Here, she murmurs, sleeping, in the garden reading, laughing, rolling apples in the loft. Here we left our treasure. Stooping, their light lifts the lids upon my eyes. Safe, safe, safe. The pulse of the house beats wildly. Waking, I cry, "Oh, is this your buried treasure? The light in the heart?" Two, and a mic. Two, and a mic.